Today we're going to give you some tips on how to have beautiful, happy, healthy hanging baskets all season long. Plants are just like you and I. They need two things. They need food and water. So one of the first things I like to do is add some slow release hanging basket food, otherwise known as Osmocote 14-14-14. This is a pelleted fertilizer that's designed to feed your baskets for 4 months. Literally, you take a small handful and sprinkle it in the top of your basket, just like you're putting some salt and pepper on your food. You want to see it, but not have large clumps of it there. Now this fertilizer is designed to make your baskets grow. So every time you're watering your baskets, some fertilizer is being released to them, and that's going to promote a big, lush, healthy basket. Of course, we all buy hanging baskets because we want an abundance of blooms. So we want to supplement the Osmocote with Superbloom. Superbloom is 10-40-25, and it's that high middle number that's going to promote and push lots of flowers for you. Early in the season, we recommend that you use this product once every 2 weeks. Very easy to use. Simply take a tablespoon per gallon of water, and we add our powder to our water. You want to make sure that you give that a good stir up. And you want to water it into all over your hanging basket. Now ideally, I usually like to give my planter some plain water before I give it the diluted fertilizer water. And that's just so there's no chance of burning your plants with fertilizer. Later on in the season, as your baskets are growing more, they're going to need to be fed more often. So as you get into mid-June, July, I recommend using the Superbloom on a weekly basis. Your baskets require a little bit of maintenance. Now early in the season, I like to pinch my hanging baskets, and that's just to encourage bushiness. Because everywhere that you cut, instead of one branch, you'll have two, which gives you twice the opportunity for flowers. So this is what I'm talking about. I might just take a stem, and I'm just going to be removing maybe the top tip of it, the inch or so, and I'm just going to bring in my pruning scissors and cut back to just above a leaf. Now, as I said, everywhere where I've pinched, I will have 2 branches coming out, which gives me the potential for twice as many flowers. I'll show you on another one over here. So here we have this longer stem. It's not too bad, but again, I want more flowers. So I'm just going to come in and remove that tip. And there we go. And as I say, we'll get 2 branches instead of 1. Now, the other thing that you do need to do is to do some regular deadheading on your baskets. So deadheading is when we remove flowers that have finished blooming, and we need to do this so the basket has the potential to rebloom. So if you look here closely at this yellow biddens, this flower is finished. So I'm just going to come in again. I could do this with my fingers, with my snips, and follow the stem down to the base of the plant and give it a light snip off. I like to go through my baskets every Sunday morning, and if you go through them on a weekly basis, maintenance takes you maybe 5 minutes max, and it's just a good habit to get into. So that's my Sunday morning routine. One of the things I get asked most about is how do I water my basket. So what I like to tell people is stick your finger into the soil down. If it feels dry down at 1/2 inch, it needs water. If you're still not sure, then a really simple trick is just to lift up on the bottom of the basket and feel how heavy it is. Obviously, a lightweight basket means that it needs water, and if it feels heavy, you probably don't need to water that day. Now, it's also really super important that when you do water, that you water your basket thoroughly. So you'll notice that when I'm watering, I water all the way around my basket. I'm not just watering one side or just in the middle of my basket. I go to all sides of my planter, and I wait until I can see that the water is actually physically starting to drip out the bottom of my container. That way I know that I've moistened the entire soil mass in my planter. Now, obviously on cool, rainy days, you won't need to water as often. But if we get into a heat wave like last summer, your hanging baskets could potentially need water every day, and as they get a lot further on into the summer, and they're growing larger, there's more plant in proportion to the amount of soil, so you need to increase the frequency of your watering. So on those super hot days in July and August, particularly if you have large moss baskets, or even our 12-inch regular baskets, you may need to water morning and evening. And I always tell folks it's better to get up a few minutes earlier in the morning and give your plants water before you go off to work than come home to a basket that's all wilted down during the day. I want to talk to you too a little bit about pruning your baskets. As I'm driving around neighborhoods later on in the summer, I quite often see baskets, especially with petunias in them, the petunias have grown really long and all the blooms down here at the base, but there's no color in the top of the basket anymore. And that's because those baskets haven't been pruned back. So as your petunia baskets grow, or anything that's super long and trailing, don't be afraid to come in and give it a little haircut. And again, I'm just taking about maybe 2 or 3 inches off the end, and I'm just pruning back to above where a leaf comes out of. By reducing some of the length here on the basket, what that does is it puts energy back into the top of the basket so the basket can fill out again and stay nice and full, and so that you also have color at the top of your basket as well as the bottom of your basket. So again, my general rule is I go through and I might take 1/3 of the length off my basket one week. The second week I'll go in and take another third off, and the third week I'll take the final third off. That way your basket doesn't look like it's been given a bad haircut. It just looked like it's been maintained and cared for. Our greenhouse is brimming with beautiful baskets just in time for Mother's Day. And if you follow those simple, easy tips, you'll be rewarded with bountiful blooms. Enjoy.